And we're back with an actual guest who's not cancelled, which is fucking incredible. So, today's episode, we'd like to welcome Chris. Chris is a self proclaimed engineer of the human mind, which is fucking enticing as fuck, to be fair. Welcome to the Trouble Boys Club, Chris. How are you doing, pal?
Thank you, Ryan. I'm absolutely buzzing to be on. I've been following the show for a while. I've been following you boys. You know what I mean? I've just been chatting there before the show, and yeah, let's be honest, we've got a lot of chat about. We'll have a laugh.
Big time, mate, big time. So, we've obviously had a look at your page and stuff like that. Fucking absolutely love all your stuff. And you can tell that you're
Yes,
kind
yeah,
of
right
passionate
back at you.
about your field. Like you can tell you're really into it and stuff. So one of the first questions that I wanted to ask, which you mentioned before, is what's stood out to you in terms of trying to hit the high performance, high pressure environment roles? Because I've seen a lot of videos that are like, are you in a high stress, high performance role? Here's like 10 things to to do if you are. So like, what's been the pull to you to that environment?
Okay, aye, good. Yeah, good question. So for me, I mean, I think I mentioned to you before, working working in an offshore drilling industry most of my adult life. Um, Straight away, that's a high pressure, high stress environment. Um, before I learned before I learned and before I trained in life coaching, I mean, I purely maintained these things and dealt with these things by learning them on the job. But I mean, it's about dealing with. I mean, it's purely it's mainly a male industry. It's like and it's not just male industry. It's everyone's an alpha male out there.
Right.
In industry I'm in, and my uh, well, the a lot of the clients that I deal with are just starting in that industry or have started in that industry and they're struggling with the mental aspect of it. And a lot of it's just learning. Like, see, I came from a background where I was already sort of, I was already immune to that sort of, to banter. Do you know what I mean? To patter, to dealing with guys, having a laugh, having a, or how far a laugh goes before it's not a
Right.
laugh anymore, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
You
And,
got to
and,
have thick
and
skin
like
in those
before
environments.
any,
If you got to
do
have
you know
thick
what I mean,
skin
don't you?
in those type of environments.
Yeah, I mean, either have thick skin before you start, or if you have thick skin before you start, I mean that's great. That's a brilliant start. But if you don't have thick skin and you enter the industry, there's ways and means of growing a thick skin, and that's where I come in. That's where I start to use my like it's all about the mental capacity. It's all about what's up there. Like it's nothing to do with. I mean, you'll often find actually, and what I've found with my experience is the guys that shout their mouths off and they're loud as hell. They're obnoxious. They're this. They're that. They're they're usually struggling inside, eh? And if you tell them once then that's it. They'll not bother you again in this sort of industry. But it's about growing that thick skin and learning how to not take things to heart. Like not to take things on the chin, sort of thing, and give a little bit back. You don't want to be at the end of the day. If you're going in an industry, and it doesn't matter whether it's like I said, my experience is offshore drilling industry, but I've had clients like going into pro sports for the first time, going into the financial industry for the first time, and I've had clients in the banking industry, and it's not just men being men or females being females, for that matter of fact. It's everyone in these sort of high stress, high pressure environments. They're when there's it's normally when there's a lot of money involved, or where there's quick progression and promotion involved. Everyone's versus everyone, and you really, really need to be prepared for that mentally. And I don't care what anyone says. It's it's all about the mind, and it's all about how to train your mind. And I don't. It doesn't matter what background you're from, whether if you're from a council estate or whether you've had a silver spoon in your mouth. You're going to get a shock when you go into that sort of industry, and you need to be prepared for it mentally.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's like a classic example, like where someone's pointed out that you've made a mistake, and then someone's gone inward on themselves and been like, "Oh fuck," and then they can't bounce back. Whereas, do you teach them to just sort of like take it on the chin, learn from it, don't make the mistake again, and they're only telling you so that you don't fuck up again. They're not trying to be dickheads. Is that what you try and teach them to sort of like get in their heads that that's what they're doing?
It's yeah, well, in a way, yes. In a way, yes. It's about it's more the at the start it was about that, but the more the more training I've had since I've started doing this, and the more experience I've had, it's also about the psychology behind making your own mind up of whether this person is telling you for your own good, or is this person uh, is this person acting like a prick? Do you know what I mean? Are they just acting like a prick? Like if I go somewhere new, then I try and use I try and use every mental training aspect that I teach people to figure people out straight away. It's not always. It's always sometimes easier, sometimes not. But yeah, like I mean, if for example, if I go somewhere new and someone's trying to tell me something, or if I fuck up, if I make a mistake, and someone sits me down and says, "Look, this is you fucked up there. Do this next time." Blah blah blah. Then I need to train. I need to train someone who's genuinely a hot-headed person to speak to these people back in a way that it, generates a positive outcome for both people, and it's like and ultimately improves the relationship, ultimately improves the background for everyone involved, But like, there's also I mean, there's a lot to it. Career wise, there's a lot to it. But generally, yes. But then again, I also teach to not take shit either. But there's ways and means of going about that, and it's not slapping the first guy that gives you some sort of telling off.
It's not prison,
There's
is it?
there's ways, in my opinion, there's ways. Sorry to interrupt you. In my opinion, like obviously going into egotistical industries, there's ways of there's ways of going about this, and it's not walking in there swaggering, um, thinking you're Mister Know It All, and just acting like the arrogant prick, because that straight away is just gonna. It doesn't matter how clever you are, how much you know. No one's going to give you the time of day for that. I always go by the fact that if, like, I mean, do your research, know what you can before you enter the situation. But see if you don't know. If someone asks you to do something you don't know, or if you don't know something, then don't fucking pretend that you do, because you will get found out very, very fucking quickly. And it's the same with this. See with this life coaching I do, right? I mean, I have a consultation. I have a consultation with before I take on any client. And if it's something that I know nothing about, if it's something like obviously the basics, whatever, the basics are the same, but I like to go along with what I'm trained for and what I've got a base for helping people. And if I don't know anything about, if I can't help these people, I'm not going to pretend I'm going to be able to do that because I'm just going to look like a prick.
Yeah, just wasting both of your times as well, innit? I was having a look as well, Chris. Sorry, on your Insta, because I was doing my own like stalking shit as well before, trying to see if I can come at any questions of any certain angles and stuff like that. And I was trying to find a website for this like personal coaching stuff. Do you have a website? Because I seen you do.
No, I sorry. I had a website. It was quite a basic website. That's now been deleted, and I've got another website on like literally getting built as we speak.
Right, no, because I tried to find it and I could just see what I think was a discount code for some like protein stuff, and then another one was like another website. But I just wanted to obviously like search a little bit more about what you do and stuff like that because I just find it really interesting. We've had quite a few similar kind of people on who do similar stuff, and I know one of our mutual followers to you was it's Aaron AMC. He did like the muscle guy, I think he was called, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he reminds me quite a bit of you in terms of what you do because he did all like training, education, mental health expert, speaker, and stuff like that. But I was just going to say, like, just for our followers and people listening, like, what kind of is it that you kind of do then? Like, do you have like more of a niche where you do certain areas more than others? Or could I come to you and be like, listen, mate, I'm struggling getting out of bed in the morning. I'm struggling with this, that, and then, like you said, you do like a consultation and stuff.
Yes. So what it is I just to touch on the website very quickly. I did have a web, like I said, it's been ongoing for a little while. I had a website. I wasn't before. It was quite a primitive website, to be honest. As the Instagram started going, it was on Instagram to start with, and it was and it was personalized through through people that were just passing me on to the new clients and stuff like that. But recently I took the website down. Probably about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, I took the website down.
I bet most stuff comes from Instagram anyway, doesn't it? With stuff like that,
it does. But again, obviously, now that I'm going more towards this is going to be a full-time thing, especially with like the ebooks coming out, and I'm expecting to publish more sort of digital products later on in the year. So I have I took that website down. I got in touch with a web designer that I actually used in the past in a previous business that I had, and he's in the process of making one just now because I want to be able to sort of I really want to be able to showcase what's going on. I want to There's going to be a blog on there as well. And there's also going to be bits and pieces that I think you guys are really gonna like. I hope the clients and that'll like it as well. I think they will. Because it's not been something that's just been thrown up. So, but on to your next question, it's like for my pretty much my niche is anyone. It's, to be honest with you, mostly men. I have female clients that are struggling with certain things. I don't turn down a female client, but it's generally men, generally professionals. And I get a lot of business owners. I get a lot of sort of business owners, especially personal trainers or gym owners. Because I'm so into fitness myself, that's why I sort of with my posts on my Instagram, I try and incorporate my bits of training into my reels. Just and I just like to sort of put bits and pieces. My reels are. I'll give you another reason why, right? Because I'm very, very interested and read up a lot about the connection between the mind and the body, like the way that the mind works and how the body performs. Like we'll say for athletes, but like for anyone really. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if I know myself, right? If I'm struggling mentally, and I have, and believe me, I have. The first thing I usually do is get myself into a regular sort of training routine, and straight away my mind feels better, and then I can start my mind, and then I can start on my mental training aspects and blah blah blah, and then see over the last couple of years how putting these things together, optimizing these training regimes. So if I've got someone who's a pro or semi pro sportsman who who I've got on my clients list, then I just encourage them. I don't just encourage them. It's basically like part of me taking them on, that they need to make time for this. You need to make time for your mental training. It's the more you read up about it and the more you learn about it, it goes hand in hand. And to be honest with you, that's actually what my first ebook is about. It's called The Mind and Body Champion. It'll be out later on next month.
Oh, that's class. I always wonder, like, how do people even get a book made? Like, it's, like, because quite a few people I've spoken to have had, like, books come out, and I always think, like, how do you even, like, because I'm fucking dumb as fuck, mate. I can't write, like, a text without doing loads of spelling mistakes and shit. So, like...
trust me, spell check. Here, spell check's my best mate, pal.
So in terms of the process of doing the ebook and stuff, then have you kind of like got it in your head what you wanted to do an ebook about, and then you'll just like blast loads of like pages out, refine it, and then do you kind of like send it off to someone who, because I think one of our other guests said that they'll send it to like an editor, I think, and then they'll like go over it, make sure it's sound, and then where will it be available? Just like, is it on like Amazon? Can you listen to it as like an audio book?
Yeah. So my first ebook. This is all. Don't forget, this is all like. I mean, and by the way, this is my first podcast in that, and it's I'm enjoying it so far, and it's just
buzzing, mate.
And this is me getting into the sort of more digital world of this, instead of just doing the coaching stuff, because what I am wanting to do is have this as my full-time thing and be able to, I mean, it is gradually getting over to this now. I mean, I've got a nice little network of clients. I take the odd offshore trip just to keep, building in the background sort of thing. But like for the ebooks and stuff, it's not something that, I mean, it's something I've been working on. It's not something that's happened overnight. For me anyway, it's more because as well, it helped me because as I was growing up, I had two or three of my friends, like very good friends, were in professional football up in Scotland, and I like, obviously we were good pals, and I physically saw their like sort of the mental draining it had on them, and the different aspects that they were going through. Like, so say for example, like they were going through relationship troubles. Say for example, like at one of one point one of their fathers died. For example, like, do you know what I mean? There was like different pieces all the time, and I just remember being there for them, and I didn't think anything of it at the time, but like I, as I got older and as I started really looking into my own mind and my own shit that I had going on, the and then had my own mentor and then trained to be a life coach. I started putting all this shit together and thinking, fucking hell, so that's what was going on with him. And that's what was going on with him, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So, and then I start, and then I read. I love reading books about sort of. I love reading books about and reading up on athletes who have gone through mental health struggles, and then come out the other side, and absolutely smashed it. You know, and they're in the spotlight. Obviously, everyone knows about Tyson Fury's struggles and that. Loved his book. Not so keen on his Netflix show, like, but anyway, that's a different story. But so, for example, the Olympics is on just now. Simone Biles, if you look at what she went through during the Tokyo Olympics,
she's got a doc that's just come on Netflix, hasn't she?
I've not seen it. I've not seen it.
Yeah, she talks about what she went through in Tokyo.
Okay.
She had all the hype behind her, didn't she? Where they all thought she was like going to like the best person to ever fucking do the Olympics and all, and then it obviously went to shit. But I'm just buzzing that she's smashed it this year.
Yeah,
she's
definitely.
A few golds, hasn't she? Which is done amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know she had a Netflix documentary, so I'll give it a watch. But like things like that, you know. So anyway, the course of the ebooks, it's taken a while, but after 2 editing sessions now, and I've finally got someone who I trust who's going to be who's going to be in the process of formatting it onto the publishing sites like Amazon, etc. I don't think this one's. I don't think I'm going to bother with this one on paperback, but the one I've got coming out later on in the year is definitely. I've got really high hopes for that, but I'll speak about that another time.
Yeah, defo. So I'd be buzzing, mate, if I had a book coming out. Like the fact you've got an ebook coming out this month, and then you've got another book in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Have you thought of like what you're going to do for like the cover for the book or anything? You're just gonna you on the cover flexing like that.
Well, no. Here, right. Listen. This is going to be as little to do with my face and that as possible. Trust me. It's I don't know. That's what this bitch is paid for. Do you know what I mean? Come on. She's got the images, man. Come on. Nah. Nothing to do with my mug on it. I'll tell you that.
Question, Chris. I've got a quick question for you because it's something that we talked about before, and I really want it to be included in this. So when you read your books, where do you read them?
Right. Okay. So, right. I'll be honest with you, Ryan. Right. See, you might laugh at this one, right? But I'm an avid reader of reading it. Well, I'm not even an avid reader, mate. I read in the bath. Right. You know, I mean, here, don't like. I know a lot of people like to. I know a lot of people like to have their bookshelf all pristine. You know, like savor them for 100 million years or whatever. But my books have got pages coming out of them. They've got bubbles from yesterday on them and everything. But no, here, look, I'll show you just that. Right, I'm not joking. I read my books in the sauna. I was reading this book in the sauna this morning after the gym. Like, look, pages coming out, pal. But here, like at the end of the day, see in my opinion, right? See in my opinion, like that just shows you the book's been used. You know what I mean? I bet most of these people that have got all 100 books on their shelves in pristine condition, they've never been fucking read in their life.
That's fucking so funny, that one.
Definitely, mate. No, I like on my bookshelf.
No, here. Do you know what, lads? I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I like audiobooks.
Yeah.
Ryan's the same. And I do listen to a shitload of audiobooks. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I like reading. Obviously, like you heard, in the bath and that, right? But obviously, same as everyone else, airplanes, trains, on holiday and stuff like that. But I do make I do make time for listening to relevant audiobooks every day, like for sure.
Yeah, that's like an essential thing for Ryan as well. Ryan listens to a lot of audiobooks.
For sure.
I need to get into them. I always say to Ryan, you need to send us like a good list of audiobooks that I can listen to. I think the last audiobook I listened to, you're going to laugh at this, was Britney Spears' autobiography. It was actually sick. It was I proper enjoyed it.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was unreal. I heard about it when I was listening to, because I listen to podcasts daily. Yeah. I just don't listen to a lot of audiobooks.
No way.
And the person on the pod said that there was in the process of reading Britney Spears' book, and it was amazing. And then like an advert popped up on Spotify saying like, you've got a free audiobook, like you get like 6 hours a month or something now. So I was like, oh, sick. So I had a little scroll, and that was like the number one selling book at the time. So I was like, give it a fucking go. And I proper enjoyed it. And it was like about 6 hours as well. So I got to listen to it all for free.
Aye, but the thing is, though, let's be honest, we all know Britney Spears has had a pretty full-on life, like so.
Yeah.
I tell you what, right? If you like autobiographies, who I listened to not long ago, Matthew McConaughey.
But that'll be well good.
Mate, I tell you what, this is almost like I think it's like a cross between like a sort of self-help book and an autobiography. It's called Red Light, Green Light, and I tell you what, the guy's had some fucking like. Just listen to it, man. Listen to it and let me know what you think. Honestly, I'm telling you, Matthew McConaughey is fucking brilliant.
Brilliant. In like very like country and Texasy kind of vibes.
He is, but his fucking stories of when he's got like stories of when his old man came and fucking picked him up in the middle of the night and took him to some barn somewhere and made him piss up against the wall so he could piss higher than his mates so he could win a fucking motorbike or some shit like that, man. Just stuff like I just thought, this is fucking class, like. It's good, like. It's good, like. Really good.
Yeah, he's one of my favourite actors as well. He's so funny.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. I've read it twice, that book, that Green Lights book, so I loved it that much.
What did you say, sorry?
I've read it twice.
What was that?
Lights. I've read it twice.
Oh, have you? Sorry.
Yeah. I fucking love that book so much. And
you're breaking up, right?
Am I breaking up? Fuck. It doesn't look like I am.
Aye, you were.
You're breaking up, mate. Back me up, Jay. Doesn't it look like?
No. You were. No, you were before, but I can hear you now. What are you saying? You've read Red Light, Green Light twice?
I've read it twice, yeah. And I think what the story you just said there, he had to piss higher than his mate and he had to win like a Honda motorcycle or something like that with his dad. And he's like, my boy will piss higher than that. And he fucking drove 100 miles to pick him up, 100 miles back. And he was like, I need a wee. And he's like, fucking hold it, boy. And he was like, go for it.
Oh man, it was fucking brilliant. Do you know what? I was such stitches at that.
Fucking brilliant, yeah.
Jay, I can't believe you've read that book twice, man. That's up there with one of my favourite books of all time, Ryan. Like it's a fucking good book, isn't it?
Same here. Like Jay, if you're gonna pick up a book like again, like I would start with that or The Alchemist. Up to you.
The Alchemist.
I'll do the Matthew McConaughey one.
The Alchemist, by who?
Oh God, Paulo Coelho.
The Alchemist.
Sick, The Alchemist, mate. So good. I short, like 4 hours long. So he can do that, fucking busy boy.
Right, okay.
Do you know what's like so funny, right? Obviously, I can hear you not perfectly normal, Chris, and I can tell because Ryan's got a massive delay. So when I hear Chris say something, I hear it like echo, and when Ryan can hear it like about 3 seconds later. So I'm just sat here like watching the pauses when Chris asks something and then waiting for Ryan to answer like 3 seconds later.
Is it?
But
No.
yeah, no, it's fine though. It'll be fine once it's all uploaded. I think Ryan's just got a bit of a lag on his end. But yeah, I was going to say, like, moving on from audiobooks, because, yeah, we could fucking talk about them all day. I wanted to ask, mate, what is it that got you into this life coaching kind of shit then? Because I know you mentioned about being on is it the oil rigs that you do as well? Or can we say that? Or do you want me to? Yeah.
No, to be honest with you, being on the oil rigs is sort of got nothing to do with why I wanted to start life coaching.
Thumbs up again.
Oh yeah, I know. Honestly, I thought at the start of this it was something to do with people just putting their thumbs up. I was like, is this recording? Like, I don't know, because I've never been.
It just does it every now and then. I don't know why. It must be a certain angle that you're doing it on.
Yeah, fucking hell. No, honestly, me getting involved, wanting to get involved in life coaching and just generally that sort of industry actually had nothing to do with me working offshore. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I had a pretty chaotic 20s throughout, like, I mean, selling drugs and in and out of. At the same time, I always managed to keep my offshore career going.
Yeah.
Which was, I don't know how, but I mean, it was I was up to all sorts of crazy shit throughout my 20s.
Yeah.
There's not enough time to sit here and get into it all just now. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like drugs, violence, everything that goes with it. Women, really fucked up and bad women, and just all sorts of nasty shit, man. Do you know what I mean? And like,
yeah,
that there's so many stories for that shit, and it's just like, honestly, at some points. Like, without sound, I don't want to get on like a fucking downer because we're having a laugh here, right? But it really did at some points hit rock fucking bottom. Rock fucking bottom.
yeah, man.
And I thought, and I managed to, with the help of a couple of good friends and a family member or two, I managed to pull myself out of these sort of ruts that I ended up in. And it wasn't just your average come down for a couple of days, trust me. It was more like, what the fuck am I going to do now, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? As I walked out of prison doors, sort of thing. So, but the thing is, though, I always knew in my head that wasn't what I was meant for, really. You know what I mean? I had a different mindset. I mean, I'm a chameleon. I could adapt to that sort of situation when I was in there. I didn't have any issues. But when I was up to no good, I could do it and not have a problem. But I always knew that there was something different, something that for me was just. All this wasn't right. I wanted to help people, not be like this, you know. I actually I recently saw a reel, right, where a guy, I can't remember what it was now, and he says I fucking love rock bottom, and he says rock bottom's fucking beautiful. He says there's nothing better than hitting rock bottom, because the only if you can do it, the only way is up. There's nothing else to go. There's nowhere else you can go but up. And if you're fucking strong, and if you got your mind right, and you're willing to learn, and you're willing to do these like shitty jobs while you're crawling your way back up, while you're getting back to yourself, there's absolutely no limit. And honestly, like, see, with the mindset that I've got now, like, yeah, and putting that towards all the training that I've had and the life experiences, I genuinely feel like life coaching, and spreading this sort of knowledge through publishing books or whatever courses. I don't know in the future maybe, but I love writing. So like coaching and writing books for me just now is I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying putting pen to paper in that respect, and also helping people in a different respect. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well the fact, like you said, you sounds like you've got a lot of fucking life experience, man. And I think like that is just like it's invaluable. Do you know what I mean? And that's what helps.
Yeah.
Getting that experience, like you can help other people go through situations and all stuff like that. And like you said, I think mindset is key, mate, because I went through like a bit of a shitty time at the start of the year. Like it was obviously not on the scale of like what people go through.
Yeah, but there's no scale. There's no scale.
No, of course. I remember like me and my partner split up, and I got made redundant like all in the space of like a month.
Yeah.
And like at the time, I was obviously away from my kids, and I remember like Ryan and my younger brother was like both there for me like all the time, and that's what got me through it. But like, I had that mindset of like when I found out I got made redundant, I was like, I'll just get another fucking job. I didn't sit there and like feel sorry for myself. Like I said, some people might feel sorry for themselves and then not get back into work, or but I my mindset all the way through it was I probably was annoying as fuck to Ryan and to my brother because I just probably just used to chat the same shit every day, but I never like felt sorry for myself in the sense of like, oh, why me? Like I always owned it, and I was like, I get why. I was in a low place and I probably weren't that good to be around, and do you know what I mean? And then you pick yourself back up, and this podcast massively helped. It was that was the driving force, and speaking to loads of fucking mint people every week. It massively gave me that boost. And like you said, I think the main thing is having that mindset. And if someone hadn't got that mindset and that mentality of wanting to help themselves, then it probably makes it harder for people like yourself, who is a life coach, to fucking lift them up and be like, come on, you can do it. Like, they've got to want to do it for themselves, ultimately. Is that right?
But here, do you know what, Jay? First of all, like, well done for getting yourself through that. Because I mean, and don't ever think, oh, it's not as bad as the other person's thing in that. Because anyone can say that. Oh, fucking hell! Like, oh, things aren't that bad. I could be in Ukraine, get my house bombed in. Yeah, that's shit. But at the same time, you're dealing like it doesn't matter what your neighbour's dealing with. Do you know what I mean? You're the one. Yeah. You're the one going through the breakup. You're the one just getting paid. You've just got made redundant, and I've been there as well. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the fact that you managed to get through that with the help of your pal Ryan, and fair play to you, Ryan, for helping out with that. And I'm sure you were a pain in the arse, sometimes, but that's what we all are, and that's what we have friends and family for. Do you know what I mean? And that's why you 100%. Stay. And the fact that you've do you know what? Like, honestly, my heart's. Like I said, I've been watching you boys and that, and like your podcasts are so real, and you're not scared to go into certain things and that, and the fact that now, Jay, that you've clearly come on leaps and bounds. You would never have known that you were going through that at the start of the year.
Yeah, well, defo, mate, because like you said, it's...
Do you know what I mean? You're smashing it, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not being funny, but like for you to have the confidence and to have the balls to come on and do something like this, I mean, like, to be honest with you, I'm used to speaking to people one-on-one, doing the life coaching stuff and that, right? But I have been really wanting to get into doing like things like this. But I was shitting myself before I come on here today, like, because it's just a different sort of thing. But like I all of a sudden, like I do feel like see three guys just having a chat like this.
Yeah, man.
Like, it helps massively, man. Like, it does. And I'm are you feeling better about a lot of things now?
Yeah, everything's like amazing now. Like got a better job. Me and my partner got back together because she's seen that I was obviously like worked on myself and all shit like that, and like in the best possible place I could ever be at this moment in time. Like my own mental health, everything's really good. Like I said, it was really hard at the time, but just having good people around you, and know, me and Ryan have always said, like, when shit does hit the fan, you find out who your fucking homies are. Do you know what I mean?
No, you do.
Of course you do. Like, Ryan went through similar shit, and you said the same thing, didn't you? Like, you find out, who's fucking there for you when you need someone to come and fucking play golf with you at 10 o'clock at night or something, all that kind of shit.
For sure. And that's the thing as well. That's, I mean, you just, it was almost textbook what you said there, to be honest. It was like, you said yourself, when you went through that at the start of the year, you figured out pretty quickly who was there for you and who wasn't, and it's not rule number one, but one of the first real lessons that I get into is identifying and removing toxic people from your life. And toxic doesn't always mean who's shouting you out to go for a drink at the weekend when you're supposed to be having a quiet one. Toxic is it's a lot more psychological than people think, and like you say, when push comes to shove, who's going to be there to make an effort for you? Who's going to make that effort? We know when it's not convenient for them, pretty much. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure there was points when it wasn't convenient for Ryan for you to fucking go round and sit and speak to him or phone him up about this and that. But I tell you what, I mean, the two of you are sitting here making a podcast together, so take it went well. You know what
I mean? Yeah, mate. Like there was points when I was getting annoyed with myself, and I was like, I'm getting so annoyed. I was like, because I'm going around in circles. I know the answers to what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I can only imagine how fucking annoying it was for him. Yeah. He just sat there, nodded his head, and yeah, we cracked on, mate, and we got through it, and we had a fucking laugh at the same time. Because I was like staying with Ryan at one point for a little bit.
Oh, nice.
And like it was insane, mate. The content we was fucking throwing out on a daily basis. Yeah. I was loving life, mate.
Yeah, no good.
I'll go back to it.
No, good. No, here, Jade, you know what? Like, see after listening to that, bro. Like, honest to God, like, and especially since it's only August, right? Fair fucking play to you for getting through that and getting everything sorted with the missus. I hope everything's better in that respect now, and sorting yourself out with another job. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, with a bit of positivity, a change in lifestyle, a change in your in your mental, but just finding that balance. Do you know what I mean? And having a support system around you, and that doesn't mean 100 mates. That means one or two really supportive people around you. Do you know what I mean? And then that is as far as I'm concerned, having 2 or 3 supportive people around you. Fucking hell, man! That blows 100 drinking buddies out the water. Do you know what I mean? Like, goodbye.
Defo, mate.
Here, can I? Sorry, see to interrupt you, right? Can I just say something? My phone's on 4% just now. Can I mute the thing for 2 seconds so I can stick it on charge and get it set up the same as it is just now?
Yeah, of course you can, mate.
Yeah,
absolutely no problem.
Finish, yeah? Is that all right? Yeah.
Yeah. We'll end on the troubled tales when you get back.
Time when you get back.
We're gonna jump into the troubled tales if that's all right with you. I think you're familiar. Ryan explained it a little bit before on DM.
He did.
This is our first one, mate. So apologise if it's a bit fucking choppy and shit, but I basically picked one of them. because
Right.
we've had quite a few sent in, so I picked one at random, and then Ryan has also picked one at random.
Right.
We've had a little read of them all, and they're all mega, and we love them. So,
Right, let's go.
Troubled Tale number 1, debuting. So this has been sent in. I'm just going to read it word for word. It's not too long, but so it's been sent in. It says, "So, lads, let me paint the scene. About 15 years ago, when I was in college, and I was aged 17, I became relatively good friends with a college tutor who was a female. The tale began to unravel when she started to offer to give me lifts home from college. She then started to message me on Facebook Messenger as well, which at that point, I raised it with her and said I didn't know whether it was okay for her to be messaging me on Facebook Messenger as she was a tutor. She quickly shut it down and said it was okay and it was nothing to worry about. So we carried on speaking. She carried on giving me lifts home, etc. She then started to do slightly odd things, such as when I got in her car, she would have packets of sweets waiting for me on the car seat. It says,
Sweet.
So fast forward a week or two later. She texts me.
How old is this guy just now?
17, the guy.
Right.
And this is a teacher at his college.
Right.
So he says, fast forward a week or two later, and she texts me and says she would like to book us a hotel and have some fun together. At this point...
Sorry, Jay, is there a picture of the teacher? Or does it describe what she looks like?
Not yet, no.
Right.
It does go into a bit of detail later on.
Right.
I don't think she's fit, if that's what you was like wondering. So anyway, so yeah, so it says I've just finding the bit where I was up to now. It's 2 secs. Yeah, so she says she wants us to get a hotel and have some fun together. May I add that she was in her late 20s, so she was like a good 10 years older than him. She was engaged to her fella, and whilst this was all going on, so I swiftly shut it all down and tried to remain friends, as it was very uncomfortable seeing her in college every single day when we had to act like we was just friends anyway. After a while, it became very baby reindeer-like, and I was getting 20 plus missed calls from her a day if I didn't reply to her text messages. On the last day of college, before I was finishing and graduating college, her younger sister, who was also in the same college as us, confronts me and says she wants to speak to me at the end of college before I leave. I was absolutely shitting myself because I thought I'd found out about me and her sister speaking and was going to go mad at me. Anyway, as I tried to swiftly leave college without her seeing me, she poked her head up through the window, see me, came out and said, I need to speak to you in private. So we stepped aside into an empty classroom. She then confesses her own feelings for me and says how much she really likes me and would like to go on a date with me. I was stunned beyond belief at this point that both sisters fancied me. And not to sound rude, but neither of them was hot, unfortunately. It says, I did later have to cut things off with baby reindeer as shit started to get crazy with the stalking. She was not happy when I did this, and I ultimately had to threaten to tell the college, what was going on if she did not leave me alone, and I never heard from her again.
Wow.
That
is insane.
Fucking...
Imagine that though, like that's like every boy's fantasy as well, for like the college tutor to fucking take them to an hotel and ride them.
Yeah, it's a fan. In Fantasyland, though, it's some fucking like size 8 fucking brunette blonde fucking thing with like fucking. Do you know what I mean? So, but what did this bit?
Little sexy glasses, little. low unbuttoned blouse and stuff, leaning over the fucking desk like, "Hello, boys."
She looks like fucking Mrs. Trunchbull out of fucking Matilda. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I'm guessing anyway.
Yeah, no one wants that. do
Oh
they?
shit.
No, do you know what? Do you know what? Right? What is this guy? Is this guy wanting some advice or what?
Do you want to take him on as one of your clients? I suppose, yeah. Like,
No,
people just send them in, and you can discuss it. Like, what would you have done in that situation?
I think he's a bit late for the fucking of the life coaching now, mate. I think he needs to go down the. Jesus Christ! Sorry. I think here next time we'll have a better setup. No, I think he's a bit late for the life coaching. I think he needs to go down the psychology route. No, I'm only joking. Never too late. No, in my God's honest opinion, right? What I would have done in that situation was fuck the teacher until I got the grade I wanted, and then and definitely fuck the ugly sister off. She's given me no impact in my life, like whatsoever. Like completely ignored her. In fact, you know what I would have done? I would have even suggested to the teacher that the sister was trying it on with me, and I fucked her off because I liked her to even get an even better grade, even if I did shit. Do you know what I mean? And then
how uncomfortable though? Imagine getting a bad grade, and he's like, "Because you didn't fucking nail her." Something like
that. Yeah, you get a bad grade because you fucking pumped in her like a big 20 second squirt or something, man. Fucking hell.
Imagine if you did
if you were confident,
she gave you a shit grade.
I know.
A D minus.
I know. Imagine you with that, like cutting about, telling everyone, "Yeah, I'll give her the best sex she's ever had," and that, and then everyone's papers get handed out, and that. Like, what the fuck's that? No, right. I don't know.
Right, you get yours done, mate.
Ryan, what would you do in that situation, pal?
Honestly, I probably would have done exactly the same as what that person did. Just like try and bat it away, because you don't want to mix business with pleasure and all that stuff. She was engaged. She weren't that hot or like.
Nah, I think 17-year-old Ryan would have fucking blown her head off, mate.
It's okay. That's what I'm saying. It's okay saying that now. What would 17-year-old Ryan have done?
Probably would have given her. I'd have given her that D minus, mate. She'd have got that 8 dick from me.
Class.
Yeah, good. What about 17-year-old Jay? What was 17-year-old Jay done
that? I have too much of a like. I've always had like, because I've got like OCD and stuff. Like with girls at the same time, like I have to have like a particular girl. So like if I didn't find her attractive, I wouldn't have been able to just like blow her head off. I was always so particular with girls. Yeah. Like, so yeah, I probably just would have fucking, I don't know. It's awkward, isn't it? Because like,
it's hard
if you're getting offered a lift home and you think like, oh, it's just like, because when I was in college, I got offered a lift home off tutors like a couple of times. You know, like it was pissing down, it's dark, and they was going that way. They'd be like, "Oh, I'll spin you back." I never thought anything of it.
Yeah,
but like, I suppose in this person's
were they like fucking like grey and fucking hairy and that? Do you know what I mean? Were they like?
No, one was a dude. So unless he was going to bum my head off, but do you know what I mean? I think it was, it's just, I don't know, you just don't think anything of it, do you? And I suppose this person mustn't have done. And then the teacher obviously caught feelings, which, is that paedophile-ish if they're 17, or is that okay?
Well, I mean, yeah,
I don't know.
Let's be honest, I'm like, that creates another subject, let's be honest, it's fucking... if it was a guy doing it to a 17-year-old fucking girl, then it would be a completely different end of the law, which is wrong, which is a completely different subject. But yeah, most of what that guy just described in that on that message is most college guys' dreams. But at the end of the day, in all seriousness, if he's serious about wanting to progress, then yeah, I would have just fucking went along. But then again, baby reindeer thing, I've not really watched it. I can't really like thingy to that. But honest to God, I would have been. I think I probably would have banged the teacher until I got the grade I wanted. I'm not gonna lie.
Fair enough.
Right,
get yours fucking involved, right? What are yours, mate?
Okie doke. So this is the second trouble tale that we've had sent in. Obviously, they're going to remain anonymous. So it says, "Hello, hope you are all well. My trouble tale is that me and my partner live in a relatively old house. Previous owner was a man in his 80s or 90s who died in the house. Once the work was all done, we moved in and we began to have guests round. My partner's cousin came for drinks one night, and while I was upstairs putting our daughter to bed, I definitely heard something say, 'Neve,' from the landing, quite a spooky and eerie voice. Once my daughter was sleeping, I went downstairs and both my partner and her cousin said, was that you saying leave? Because it sounded like a ghost. I'd piss about and try wind them up quite a bit, as they can be quite paranoid and anxious. I said absolutely not. I thought it was one of you trying to wind me up. They would be a bit mad and believe in that sort of thing. So my partner said, if it was Desi, could he make the candle flicker? Desi being the old guy that used to live there. Nothing happened, and I joked, I bet the candle in the kitchen is going mad. My partner then said, Desi, if it's you, can you make the candle flicker in here? Safe to say they were both freaked out. My partner then booked us in to see a psychic a couple of weeks later to see if they could tell us anything at £30 a head or something mad like that. In the interim, I was putting my daughter to bed again and I heard a similar noise, but even more so this time. It sounded like it was coming from the bathroom. I went to the bathroom and couldn't see anything, obviously, but the window was open. I looked out the window and heard the noise again. It turns out what we thought was the spirit of the house, the previous house owner trying to haunt us, was actually a young lad next door with special needs getting really excited and enjoying the hot tub in the garden near ours. I still have to go see the psychic. I still have to go and see the psychic, even though we now knew what it was.
So did they still go and see the psychic, even though they knew it wasn't a ghost? Oh my god!
I was expecting
that is unreal.
I was expecting some sort of fucking. What should we do? But
oh my god! Wow,
that is insane. I think that's my favourite is one yet.
Yeah,
thank you, whoever sent that in. You know who you are.
Right. So what was it? What's the end of that again? Yeah.
What was the end?
What's that? Sorry, Chris.
I'm just saying, like, I lost you. It was the neighbour's kid next door. What was it after that?
So it said, even though we knew what it was that was making the noise, we still had to go and see the sidekick, and I still don't believe in ghosts for obvious reasons.
That is mad.
Thank you. Thank you to you two members. This is going to be good.
Mad. Right, well, we hope you've enjoyed it anyway, Chris, coming on the pod, being our first Trouble Tales member to listen to Trouble Tales. We've got plenty more as well, and I'm sure you've got some Trouble Tales, mate, with your fucking background. So if you do, send them in, mate, and we can read them out.
I will do it, bro. I'll send them in.
Yeah.
No, here. Listen, can I just tell you something? Like I said, it's been my first podcast. I've really enjoyed it. I had a chat with Ryan like before we come on, and that made me feel welcome. And since we come on, so have yourself, Jay. Aye, two good lads. And wish you the best of luck, and let's keep in touch.
Absolutely, mate. Anyone who comes on the pod, like we always stay in touch and we speak to them on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And as well, we wouldn't think it was your first pod, mate, because you absolutely smashed it.
Aye, well, yeah, thank you.
We've enjoyed having you.
I know. Here, do you know what? It's just been sitting. It's like been sitting in a room, just having a laugh with two guys. So here, cheers for that, lads, and aye, good luck, right?
Yeah, nice one, mate. Well, keep in touch, and yeah, we'll let you know when we're uploading. It'll be not this Friday, next Friday, but yeah, drop you a message in that, mate.
Right, good luck.
Have a lovely weekend, mate.
Yeah,
Catch you later.
You too, lads. Right, take care. Bye bye.
Nice one, Chris.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.